most personal trainers are trusting their job and being loyal to a gym that doesn't give two fucks about you. They are manipulating you and using you to build their own dreams and for their own objective. And it's time for you to wake up. The opportunity is online for you to have your own objective, to work on your own terms, having more income, more freedom, and building the business of your dreams. If you haven't noticed yet that the easiest time to make money in history is right now, you must be completely ignorant and blind if you don't see the opportunity is online. In this video, I'm going to share with you something I see every personal trainer doing wrong. My name is Eric Anthony Klima, and I've helped over 600 personal trainers start their online fitness business and create more income online. I'm not someone who just hopped on the internet. I've walked the walk. I worked 1 year at LA Fitness making $2,000 to $3,000 per month as an in-person trainer, struggling financially, living with my mom in her living room. I scaled my own online fitness business to $50,000 per month. And I've helped trainers, some of the best in the industry, like Patricia, make $30,000 cash per month. Jesus make $30,000 cash per month. Kate Junkerth make $20,000 per month. Justin make $15,000 per month. Asia make $20,000 per month. And I scaled my second coaching company to $200,000 per month, PT Legends. Now, there's billions of users on social media. It's a new era, and that means a new, better vehicle and opportunity for you. According to IHRSA, International Health, Racket and Sport Club Association, the $30 billion health and fitness industry in the US has been growing by at least 3 to 4% annually for the last 10 years and shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. If anything, it's accelerating. Currently, about 20% of American adults have a fitness club membership, a number that, in my opinion, could easily double in the next 10 to 15 years. And that's not counting all the other related things to the health and fitness industry that consumers are using. So you need to adapt, get in a new vehicle, and have the courage to learn something outside of what your gym is manipulating and incentivizing you to stay at. Okay? Sorry for the spelling errors. So just to give you perspective, a lot of people think that the market is saturated. Now, I just want to give you a quick statistic. Worldwide, obesity kills 4.72 million people annually. That's about 8% of global deaths and about the same number of people who die from air pollution, which is insanity. The market is not saturated. Most of you just suck at marketing and sales. Most trainers just don't know how to market and position themselves out there, and that's what we're going to go through in this video. So the market is not saturated. There's plenty of people that need help and plenty of people that really could use the help, that need you, that need a solution to the problem. The problem is most trainers really suck at social media. They're not active, and you need to be active, right? In order for you to get paid, you have to show up. You have to study it, and because this is your moneymaker. This is your tool to freedom. Another problem is their lack of consistency. Okay, the greatest way to stay poor is not be consistent. If you don't want to build a six-figure business, then don't watch this video and don't be consistent. Those are the two greatest ways to stay poor and stay working in a gym, making an average income of $3,000 per month. I talk to hundreds of personal trainers per day, whether it's through DMs, on the phone. The average personal trainer makes $3,000, maybe $5,000 if they're lucky per month. That is not real money. And if you want to stay there, just stop being consistent on social media. The final problem is that most trainers just give up too quick. They make excuses. They're not consistent. They don't see the results. They don't see the overnight success. And so they choose to give up. The solution to this is to look at your top 10 competitors in your niche. Okay, the first thing you want to do is look at some of your competitors in your niche. The only way to achieve success is to face your failures and learn from them. Competitors are not your foes, but your guides who challenge you to become better. Okay? Because I'm a big believer in not needing to reinvent the wheel, but just do what's working. So what I would suggest for you to do is follow 10 of your greatest competitors in your niche, study their strategies, study the language that they use in their content, how they're speaking and resonating, how they're becoming great marketers and attracting leads. Now, don't steal their success. Don't use their stuff word for word, but model their success. And pay attention how most of them, if they're actually truly making 6 and 7 figures, they're extremely, extremely consistent. Okay, it's a lot like building the body of your dreams. You cannot go to the gym once per week and become a pro bodybuilder. This is something you have to commit to for the existence of your life. You have to make it a long-term commitment. The next thing that I'd recommend is remove all your followers that are distractions. Stop being a consumer and start being a producer. So any of those followers who are just being a distraction, they're popping up in your feed, you're seeing their stupid cat videos, remove them. If they're not your dream client, remove them. Okay? Stop consuming and start producing. Remove anything that's distraction. Only follow stuff that's actually going to contribute to your success. Next thing is engage and conversate with your ideal customers on social media. What I mean by that is go in hashtags, go in Facebook groups, go all over on social media, start liking their content, start commenting on their content, start following them, and start pushing that traffic to your page. And spark up conversations with them as well. And you want to create content that solves their problems. Okay, when you think about what value is, it's something that solves a problem. And if you want to be a great marketer, if you want to be a great online fitness coach, you have to create content that speaks to their pains. You need to use their language. Some things that are I like to use to do that work for me, that might work for you, is when I get on sales calls with people or I'm in the gym, I'm having a chat with someone who's fat and overweight, anybody who's your ideal customer, listen to the verbiage that they're using. Listen to their vocabulary. Listen to the way that they're explaining their internal and external feelings. Right? The way they actually paint that picture and use that picture to paint a vivid picture with your content so that people can really connect with your content and really resonate with it. Problem number 2 is that, guys, right now we are in an economic trust depression, I call it. Okay? We're living in a time where there's the least amount of trust in people. There's marketers, digital marketers, scams all over the internet, and people are afraid to touch links. They're afraid to be ripped off, and people, there's so many marketers out there that we're literally in a trust depression. We're in economic trust depression. It's harder than ever to build trust with people. Now, most coaches are just selling or posting too much about their product instead of promoting and selling the dream outcome, right? Too many of them are just putting a flyer up, hey, sign up to my program, and just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks. It's not going to work. Number 2 is they're not doing long enough, right? They haven't built that trust, credibility, that authority in the space for people to actually start taking action and trusting them. Number 3 is they're not building a brand. They're not building brand trust and awareness. Overall, they're just not building a unique personal brand. They're just relying on, a couple posts working and an overnight success, and that's not how the game of business works. The solution to that is what I call the sale before the sale. And I think this is going to be the game-changing opportunity for those of you watching this. I think this is what really can separate you from anybody else in the market. I think this is what can separate you from charging $200 a month to charging $1,000 per month. And it's what I call the sale before the sale. This is a process or a set of activities that are normally carried out before a customer or consumer is acquired, before they become an actual client. Sometimes people call this the pre-sales, to extend it into the period the product or service is delivered to the customer, aka lead nurturing. So many of you might call it lead nurturing. Lead nurturing refers to the process of building meaningful relationships with your prospective customers by providing them with appropriate and relevant content at every stage of the buyer's journey. Basically, the goal with the sale before the sale, with this lead nurturing thing that we're talking about right now, the goal is to guide them through the sales funnel and move them closer to making a purchase. Sorry, guys. Okay. On average, this is statistics about sales and stuff like that. On average, a consumer will consume about 11 pieces of content before even making a purchasing decision. And many of you are just giving them one piece of content, or they're just consuming the sales piece of content that got them through the next step. These days, a powerful content experience is about sending prospects to a location where they can find what they need quickly without having to consume a lot of peripheral content in the process, right? Without all the distractions going from A to B, right? You want to have an asset or resource where they can quickly just start consuming these sales assets, we're going to call it, to nurture the lead into becoming a buyer. To make that happen, your content also needs to align with who the prospects are, right? So if you're selling to moms and all your content is about dads, they're not going to think that you're the right person, right? Or what they're looking for, right? And where they are in their buyer journey. Perhaps you give them a content pieces you want them to binge, right? You want them to actually start binging on it. And this is what YouTube is great for, which we're going to dive into in a second. So those should be the best pieces, right? You want, when you create these sales assets that we're going to get into, you want to be the best pieces of content you think will serve their needs and propel them to actually take action. So think of it as like binging awesome episode series versus taking in a 150 episode series that doesn't really have an impact, an end, or a purpose outside of being watched for the sake of being watched. Right? So you don't want to just send people bullshit, is what I'm trying to say, before, you know, some shit that you just put together before a sales call or to nurture your leads. You want to send them something actually impactful that solves a problem. Okay? So this is what I want you guys to do. Use YouTube as a sales nurturing asset. Okay? Use it as the pre-sale. Use it as that lead nurturing tool that can allow for you to close more deals, get a higher closing percentage, and also generate more leads. What we do is we like to send this to prospects before the call. Okay? The other thing that we do is we use them as lead magnets to generate new leads on other social media platforms. Okay? On Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We use these YouTube videos like this one I'm creating right now, and we'll be like, hey guys, I just created a free training on the biggest mistake that personal trainers do wrong. Right? If you want it, just DM me personal trainer below and I'll send it over to you. So we use it as lead magnets. We use them as lead nurturing tools. We use them as sales assets to send before the call. But what's great about YouTube is that they'll now dive in and start binging into the rest of our stuff if the video is actually good, which nurtures the lead to becoming a buyer, because remember, like I mentioned earlier, that it might take them up to 11 pieces of content before they become a buyer. Now, YouTube is also great for generating new leads and being a sales asset, because keeping these metrics, the number of monthly active users on YouTube reached almost 2.5 billion in October 2023, making it the second most popular social network on the internet. The platform's popularity spans all over the world, with India and the United States having the largest YouTube audiences as of October 2023 and continues to grow year after year. Not only that, it's the number two greatest search engine, number one being Google. And guess what? YouTube is made by Google. They're like the same company or whatever, right? Google makes YouTube. And so it kind of makes it number one in a sense, right? So people are using YouTube as one of the number one stations or platforms to get information. And because people consume long form videos on YouTube, they become warmer and hotter leads because they're consuming more. They're getting closer to that 11 pieces of content with a long form than versus just one piece of short form. So you can use YouTube to generate leads, new leads, build your brand and audience, but also you can use that as content as sales. You can use that content as sales assets to warm up the people who are on the colder side. Because again, remember, it goes back to, we're in a trust recession, right? People trust people least than ever in history. And so we're using YouTube as that bridge to get to fill that gap, right? To be that bridge between the gap, right? And that's why a lot of people aren't buying and they're not, opting into your stuff. Leads aren't reaching out to you because they just don't trust you and your content isn't resonating. So we can use this to get them more aware of your brand, who you are, build more trust, get more leads, and also make them aware of the problem that you solve. Overall, this is going to help you build more trust with your prospects and gets the buyer to closer to a buying decision, right? So if your buyers needs to go from here to actually say yes to you, right? To fill that gap, you need content. They need to consume content to get them there. If they've only gotten here, it's going to be a lot harder to get them to say yes, and you're going to have to basically beg them to say yes for $2,000, $1,000, however much you're selling your product for. But if you have sales assets, you can get them closer to that yes, making it more likely for them to say yes while generating more leads as well. Now, you might be like, okay, cool, that's great, but I don't have any ideas. Guys, any free training, 3 steps, here's just a quick one, 3 steps to sustainable fat loss while enjoying your favorite foods. All right? 5 to 15 minute video. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. Anything longer than that, I don't think is really necessary, but I have seen 40-minute videos work as well. And the framework for this is actually pretty simple. So you want to kind of follow what I did with this video. Number one, you want to show authority, right? Who you are and what you do. Hi guys, my name is Eric Anthony Klima. 6 years ago, I was a struggling personal trainer. Now I'm making over 200K per month as an online coach, and I've helped over 600 trainers build their online fitness business. So that shows authority. It tells the audience who I am. They're seeing my face. They're like, okay, cool. Next thing is credibility, right? And that gets into the part where I was like, this worked for our client Cade. This worked for our client Jeff. This worked for our client this person, and this person, and this person, right? So credibility, like, oh my God, this worked for so many people. Then you're going to dive right into identifying and resonating with the pain point that your ideal customer is suffering from. So you're here right now at hell, right? So we're going to talk about where the hell point is. So for you guys right now, it's not being able to generate leads and close deals, and everybody's telling you no. And the how we're going to solve that problem is with this video is by using sales assets, by using YouTube, right? So you want that video to take them from hell, right? You want to talk about where they're at, hell, which is like, okay, you're struggling with fat loss, you can't get a six pack, you're under eating, your life sucks, and you're lacking confidence, you can't have sex with your wife, so on and so forth. And it solves a problem, a solution to get to heaven. So here's how you're going to fix that problem. You're going to do X, Y, Z, right? Solution 1, 2, 3, right? And then finally is just the inspiration or outcome. So, and you can even add a call to action on it, right? So here's how you'll feel as a result of that, right? The internal emotions that they're going to experience. Oh, if by implementing this, guys, you're going to feel leaner, you're going to feel stronger, you're going to feel better. So in my case, I could say, guys, by implementing this YouTube strategy and using it as a sale asset, not only are you going to close more deals, but you're also going to generate more new leads and build your brand more. All right. So here's how you're going to feel here's how you're going to feel as a result of implementing this 3-step strategy that we went through in this video. Your wife is going to be more satisfied because you're going to be, your sex drive is going to be higher. Your relationship's going to improve because you guys are going to be, communicating more. And number 3 is you're going to feel stronger, leaner, and more confident than ever. Imagine a world where you can feel stronger, leaner, and your relationship grows as well. Just a recap, guys, and I hope this helped. You can follow this framework for your YouTube videos. Is quit being manipulated by gyms and 9-to-5s. Number 2 is create better content. We're living in the greatest wealth transfer in history, which is using social media. Number 3 is don't play the victim when it comes to this, and be patient with building a brand. Okay, don't play the victim. You got to be patient with building a brand. We're in a trust recession, so work harder and create lead nurturing sales assets. Once it's working, people will start to run to you. Okay? By the way, guys, if you like this video and you want to learn how you can generate more leads, build a business in 2024, the game has changed, guys. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this week, we'll be dropping a new video on my story of going from drug addiction to 7 figures and the step-by-step process on how you can get there too. Hope this video helped out, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.